Welcome to our comparison of the Apple iPhone 15 and the Samsung Galaxy S23, two of the main flagship smartphones in the market. In this discussion, we'll dive deep into various aspects to help you decide which one suits your needs. Pricing. Let's start with pricing. Both the iPhone 15 and S23 lines kick off at $799 for the base models, each offering 128 gigabytes of internal storage. However, you might find the S23 at a lower price point online due to its longer presence in the market. If you're interested in larger screens, the 6.7-inch iPhone 15 Plus is priced at $899, while the 6.6-inch S23 Plus is at $999. The S23 Plus offers double the storage, 256 gigabytes versus 128 gigabytes, for the same price. The iPhone 15 Plus has a higher resolution screen, but with a bit more PPI, pixel per inch, than the S23 Plus. Moving on to the top-tier models, the iPhone 15 Pro Max starts at $1,199 for the 256 gigabytes version, and the Galaxy S23 Ultra also starts at $1,199.99 with the same storage capacity. If you want similar specs to the 15 Pro Max but in a smaller form factor, consider the iPhone 15 Pro, starting at $999. The 15 Pro Max boasts a more powerful telephoto camera with 5x optical zoom compared to the 15 Pro's 3x zoom. So for a top-tier phone, you're looking at a price range of $800 to $1,200, whether you choose Apple or Samsung. Design and durability. Moving on to design and durability, both Apple and Samsung offer sleek, slab-style phones with USB-C ports and multiple rear cameras. All iPhone 15 and Galaxy S23 models are IP68 rated, meaning they are dust-resistant and can survive underwater submersion. They are also available in various colors, including pastel hues. The front-facing camera on both series of phones is accommodated differently. Samsung uses a single-hole punch in the top center of the device, while Apple has its dynamic island camera cutout, which can display real-time data and serves as a notification area. Apple's Face ID authentication method is embedded within the dynamic island, while Samsung uses an under-display fingerprint sensor for authentication. Regarding toughness, Apple uses its in-house ceramic shield glass on the front and back of the iPhone 15. All S23 models feature Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on both sides. While Apple claims its glass is tougher, Victus 2 should suffice for most users. Additionally, the iPhone 15 Pro Max uses a titanium alloy for its frame, enhancing its strength, while other iPhone 15 models and the S23 use aluminum in their designs. Power and performance. Now let's talk about power and performance. Both Apple and Samsung flagship phones are equipped with some of the fastest internals on the market. Apple uses the A16 Bionic chip in the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, and the newer A17 Pro powers the iPhone 15 Pro line. On the other hand, all Galaxy S23 models use the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. In terms of benchmark scores, Apple's processors typically outperform Qualcomm's offerings in CPU performance. For example, the iPhone 14 Pro scored 1,882 on the single-core test and 5,554 on the multi-core test on Geekbench 5. The S23 Ultra reached 1,545 on the single-core test and 5,078 on the multi-core test. While we haven't tested the A17 Pro yet, both sets of devices offer a world-class real-world experience. Apple doesn't disclose the amount of memory, but iPhone 14 models reportedly had 6 GB. In contrast, every S23 comes with a minimum of 8 GB, which can be upgraded to 12 GB on the S23 Ultra. Apple offers up to 1 TB of storage, but this option is only available on the iPhone 15 Pro line. Battery life. Regarding battery life, Apple doesn't disclose battery sizes, but they claim the iPhone 15 should last up to 16 hours while streaming video, while the iPhone 15 Pro extends that to 20 hours. In comparison, the base Galaxy S23 managed 13 hours and 12 minutes in our test. The larger iPhone 15 Plus is said to provide 20 hours of video streaming, while the S23 Plus achieved 14 hours and 45 minutes in our test. Lastly, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is estimated to last up to 25 hours of video streaming, whereas the Galaxy S23 Ultra managed 13 hours in our tests. Keep in mind that these figures may vary depending on usage, and Apple's testing methods are not specified. Displays. Let's dive into the display features of these flagship smartphones. Starting with screen sizes, the iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Pro both come with 6.1-inch screens, while the iPhone 15 Plus and iPhone 15 Pro Max feature larger 6.7-inch screens. In the Galaxy S23 lineup, you have a range of screen sizes to choose from. The base S23 features a 6.1-inch screen, the S23 Plus boasts a 6.6-inch display, and the S23 Ultra takes the lead with a generous 6.8-inch panel. If you're looking for the absolute largest display, the S23 Ultra is the winner. Now let's compare the screen resolutions. The 6.7-inch iPhone 15 Plus offers a 2796 by 1290 pixel display, whereas the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus shares the same 2340 by 1080 pixel resolution as the S23. This results in a pixel density of 393 pixels per inch PPI. For the S23 Plus, the iPhone 15 Plus has a slight edge here. Moving on to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it also features a 2796 by 1290 pixel screen, similar to the 15 Plus. However, the S23 Ultra boasts a remarkable resolution of 3088 by 1440 pixels and an impressive pixel density of 500 ppi. This gives the Galaxy S23 Ultra an edge over the iPhone 15 Pro Max in terms of display resolution. Cameras. Now let's shift our focus to the camera capabilities, an important aspect for smartphone buyers. The S23 and S23 Plus come equipped with a 50-megapixel main camera, featuring an f1.8 aperture and optical image stabilization. Additionally, there's a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera with an f2.2 aperture and a 10-megapixel telephoto camera with an f2.4 aperture, providing 3x optical zoom. These phones are also capable of recording videos in up to 8K resolution at 30fps. In contrast, the S23 Ultra takes it up a notch with a 200-megapixel main camera sporting an f1.7 aperture, laser autofocus, and optical image stabilization. It can capture photos in the full 200-megapixel glory or downsize them to 50-megapixel or 12.5 megapixel. The S23 Ultra shares the same ultra-wide and base telephoto lenses as the other two phones but adds a special 10-megapixel, a 4.9 lens with 10x optical zoom, enabling the impressive 100x space zoom feature. Now let's turn our attention to the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. Both models feature a 48-megapixel main shooter with an f1.78 aperture and second-generation optical image stabilization. This camera can also serve as a telephoto shooter similar to the standard iPhones. In addition, both Pros come with a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera featuring an f2.2 aperture and dedicated telephoto lenses. The iPhone 15 Pro includes a 12-megapixel 3x optical telephoto lens with an f2.8 aperture and optical image stabilization, while the iPhone 15 Pro Max offers a 12-megapixel 5x optical telephoto lens with an f2.8 aperture and optical image stabilization. For front-facing photography, all iPhone 15 models feature a 12-megapixel front-facing camera with an f1.9 aperture. However, the Pro line has the added capability to capture images in Apple ProRAW format. Video recording on all iPhone 15 models, whether using the front or rear cameras, tops out at 4K 60. Samsung's S23 Ultra takes the lead with its impressive 10x optical zoom. Despite the differences in zoom capabilities, both S23 and iPhone 15 series are expected to deliver excellent photos and videos. Other considerations. Before we conclude, let's consider a few other factors. The new iPhone 15 models offer unique features not found in Samsung's lineup, such as emergency SOS, roadside assistance via satellite, and crash detection. On the other hand, the Galaxy S23 Ultra comes with Samsung's S Pen stylus, offering a range of functionalities. The S23 series can also be connected to accessories to emulate a traditional computer experience with windowed applications using DeX, a feature not available on Apple devices. Another point to consider is the ecosystem you're most comfortable with. Android phones like the S23 lineup integrate well with Windows, while Apple phones work seamlessly with macOS. So if you prefer sending text messages from your PC or Mac, your choice may depend on the ecosystem you're in. Additionally, your existing accessories, such as Apple Watch and AirPods or Galaxy Buds and Galaxy Watch, may influence your decision. Lastly, think about the apps you use, especially those you've invested in. Transitioning from one ecosystem to another can be challenging, so it's worth considering your app preferences when making your choice. In conclusion, both the Galaxy S23 lineup and the iPhone 15 series offer compelling features making it challenging to make a wrong choice. Whether you prefer the look and feel of the Galaxy S23 with Android or Apple's industrial aesthetic and iOS, you're sure to find a model that suits your preferences. Stay tuned for our full reviews of all the iPhone 15 models, and don't forget to subscribe for updates.